Hey guys, my name is Julian and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Lil Rat. Right, this is the same pedal as the normal Rat, it's just in a smaller package. Now this pedal is like a Swiss Army knife. It can do pretty much everything. So we're going to check out some tones from low gain all the way to high gain, see how it works, and then after checking out the tones, I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, so let's check it out. Okay guys, so for this review, we're going to be using this Harley Benton Fusion 3. Okay, now on the pickup, I have an SH4 Seymour Duncan, and I have some Toneriders on the neck. As far as the amp, I'm going to be using the UAFX Universal Audio Lion pedal on the clean settings, and this is our clean tone. Okay, so pretty much a very clean tone, barely any overdrive in there. Okay, now I'm going to turn on the pedal. Now, the pedal, guys, has 3 knobs, right? So it's pretty simple. It has a filter in the middle. I know they're a little bit hard to see what the setting is. We have the distortion, the gain, and then the volume. It's pretty simple, right? So right now, we're going to start from the lowest gain setting. So I have it like in around 1, right? If we go from 1 to 10, or let's say around, that'll be like 8 o'clock. So if we turn on the pedal, so we get like a bit of overdrive, right? Now for me, that tone is a little bit too much bright. It just has a little bit too much, you know, it's just a little bit too kind of like, I don't know, like scratchy. I don't even know what to call it, just too high. So what I'm going to do, guys, is that I'm going to put the filter up, right? So when you turn it to the right, what it does is that it starts cutting the high frequencies, right? So I'm gonna cut it. Now I put it about 3 o'clock, right? We're looking at a clock. Right, our filter, and now we have this. Right now it's a little bit now too dark, so I'm gonna kind of find the sweet spot, right, which is a little bit less filter. There we go, getting there. So a little bit before halfway. Let's just check our volume. There we go. Guys, that is an amazing, a really good overdrive tone. It's very clean. It's not really adding like a bunch of other frequencies, right? And then with that filter, you can just fine tune those highs. And to me, it sounds like a great clean overdrive tone, right? If I put it on my position 2. And if I put it on my bridge, it is a humbucker, so it is much darker, but we get this. So already a really nice, kind of like very cleanish overdrive, but let's add a little bit of gain. So right now I have about 8 o'clock. So let's put it a little bit more than 9, just a little bit to see how much gain we get. I'm gonna keep everything else the same. Let's see. Wow, that is a huge difference. So as you guys can see, once you start putting the distortion out, that's gonna affect volume, and it's also gonna affect the filter. So you're gonna have to change the filter as you're moving your distortion to, like, you know, fine tune it. So that was a little bit too high. Let's check our clean tone. All right, so we definitely gonna put the volume down. I think somewhere around there. Okay, so now we get a little bit more, I still think it's overdrive territory. That is actually a really nice, kind of like a clean lead tone, right? Now I am going to take away some of the highs, so I'm going to put the filter a little bit higher. Okay, not that much, now it's a little bit too low. It's just like, you know, it is very peaky, so you have to put it right on the perfect spot, the filter knob. Oh, check out this tone, guys. This is a really good tone. Really nice clean tone. Okay, let's do our two neck and middle pickup. Really nice tone, and let's do our bridge. So that's already getting us some crunch right on the humbucker. So again, just nice tones, guys. This pedal has really good tones. All right, now let's put it a little bit. I guess that would be like around 11 o'clock ish, somewhere around there. Neck pickup. I actually really like that already. So just so you guys can see how big that filter knob is, if I put it all the way off, check it out. Right, apart from adding a bunch of volume, right, it added like a bunch of highs. Very fuzzy. That's not my kind of tone. I usually tend to go for like, you know, warmer sounding tones. All right, so again, I'm gonna put that filter up a little bit more than halfway. All right, let's check our volume with the clean. I think we need to take a little bit of volume off. A little bit more. There we go. Let's take just a little bit more of the highs. Excellent tone. It's more still, I would say, like more towards the crunch cleanish, right? Still not full on, like let's say high gain chuck territory, right? Now let's do our position 2. And let's go to our bridge. Right, so very Marshall-y sounding, guys. Obviously, I'm using a Marshall amp, right? Even though it is a pedal, but you know, it just gives me a really nice Marshall overdrive. Now check it out. Right, maybe we need to cut or add some highs for that tone. Better. Okay, that is an awesome tone, guys. All right, now let's go ahead and put it halfway. All right, and this is what we get on the neck pickup. Right, nice crunchy tone. Let's take it to the bridge. Okay, now I think we're in like a chug territory. Okay, now as we start adding more gain from here on, or more distortion, guys, what's gonna happen is that it's gonna start getting a little bit looser, right? Instead of getting tighter, it gets looser. So, you know, if you want like more chunkiness, I guess, you will have to add like a tube screamer before that to control those lows, right? All right, now let's add the guys. Let's put it now around, I guess that's somewhere around 1:30 or 2 o'clock, right? On our neck. So if you notice, I haven't used the filter too much, but if I take, again, away, or if I put the filter lower, it adds a lot of highs. Right, which is actually not that bad. As you put the distortion higher, you do want to add some of those highs because the distortion kind of takes away some of the highs. So again, that filter knob, I think it acts wonderful. Clean tone. All right, and actually that's pretty good. All right, let's do our bridge. All right, let's actually take away some of those high tones. All right, so it starts getting like just a little bit towards fuzz territory, guys. Right, so that's already pretty fuzzy, guys. So now I'm gonna put it at 3 o'clock. For me, this is already very fuzz-like territory. Still a little bit between distortion and fuzz, but just getting towards fuzz. Check it out. Right, you can hear those notes just kind of start collapsing like a fuzz. That's on the neck. On the bridge. Right, again, it starts getting pretty there. You're like, you know, just not distortion anymore on the bridge, just fuzz. And if we put a full on distortion all the way through, right, I'm going to add some of the highs because it does take away. Right, and that is the max that we get as far as distortion. Alright, and let's say that I take away all of the filter. Check it out. Way too many high frequencies for me. Now my favorite setting, right, just to end kind of our tone check, guys, is somewhere around kind of the middle, a little bit more. I just think it has like a really nice, you know, just martially distortion, and that's on any amp, by the way. Right? Right, even if we take a little bit more off, check it out. We might need to add a little bit of volume. There we go. I think for rhythm, this works perfect, and that's how I put it in my pedal board. I kind of have overdrives before to boost them, and I use it to boost higher gain pedals, and it just kind of fits perfect in the middle. Alright guys, and we saw what this pedal sounds like. So I think now you know what I call this like a Swiss Army knife. Right, this pedal can pretty much do anything from low gain to high gain to fuzz, and it does it all well. I actually think it's a really good option if you don't like tube screamers because of how much meats they add. This pedal, you know, for a low gain drive or like an overdrive tone, I think it sounds fantastic. It's very clean. Those crunchy tones are really good, and you know, the high gain and fuzz distortions are also really good. I actually prefer the fuzz on the Rat pedal over many other fuzzes. I think he just kind of like contains itself well. I also stack a lot, so I actually have two of these pedals because I have two pedal boards, and I have one in each because I use it a lot. It's one of the pedals that I use the most. I use it to boost high gain pedals just to give it like more punch, but I also use, for example, like Blues Driver, Boss Blues Driver before him, and it just gives me this really nice kind of crunch martially tone. Right, so you know, it's just an excellent pedal, stacks really well with things, acts as a boost. You know, you can use it for leads by itself as you saw in the intro. So, you know, just what a good pedal, and it's pretty cheap, guys. This is not an expensive pedal. Yeah, I think it's one of those pedals that everybody should have on the board. Really helpful. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was the enclosure. All right, I do like the small package. One of the things I don't like about smaller pedals is that when I step on something, right, very close together, I'll tend to step on like 2 or 3 pedals at a time, which kind of sucks. What I like about this one is that it's taller. So I have another pedal here, just to see as a comparison how tall it is, right? So just giving it that extra, height, what it does is that I can put it close to maybe other pedals. And when I step on it, I don't step on any other ones by accident. And I think that's actually pretty smart. And I don't think I've seen any pedal with this height. So pretty cool. The enclosure feels really solid. Uses 9-volt batteries. Very simple to use. So, what else can I say, guys? Definitely, I would recommend this pedal for anybody. Or maybe if you don't have a lot of money and you just want a pedal that can do many things, this little guy here is amazing. Okay, so that's kind of our video for today, guys. So as always, let me know what you want to see or hear, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.